Good morning, God's people. Hope you had an amazing night. Today's topic is a persistent mother. The Bible verse for this topic is 2 Kings 4:26. It says, "Run to meet her and ask her, 'Are you alright? Is your husband alright? Is your child alright?' 'Everything is alright,' she said." On Mother's Day, we pause to honor the kind of love that doesn't quit, even in the face of heartbreak. Few stories capture this truth more vividly than that of the Shunammite woman in 2 Kings 4, whose faith and persistence stand in timeless example of trust in God. Her story begins with simple hospitality. A wealthy woman from Shunem noticed the prophet Elisha passing by and chose to open her home to him. She discerned that he was a holy man of God and prepared a special room for him, a place of rest and refreshment. She did not seek recognition, reward, or repayment. Her kindness was pure, motivated only by reverence for God and compassion for his servant. Yet God, who sees every act of faithfulness, had more in mind for her than she ever imagined. Through Elisha, God promised her a son. This was no small gift. She had long carried the silent ache of barrenness. But like Anna in 1 Samuel, we never hear a voice lifted in prayer for a child. Perhaps disappointment had silenced her hope. But when God spoke through Elisha, about this time next year, you will hold a son in your arms. Her long hidden desire was awakened, and the impossible became reality. Her miracle child grew, filled her later years with joy. Yet one day, tragedy struck. The boy suddenly cried out with severe head pain, collapsed, and died in her arms. Imagine the weight of that moment. Her promised son, the miracle she hadn't dared to ask for, was lifeless. Many would have collapsed in despair, but not this mother. Instead, she carried her son to Elisha's room, laid him on the prophet's bed, and closed the door. Her actions revealed extraordinary faith. She refused to bury her child because she refused to bury her hope. When her husband asked why she was going to see Elisha, she simply replied, "Everything is alright." At first glance, this seems contradictory. How could she say all is well when her son is dead? But those words are not denial, they're faith. She spoke not out of what she saw, but what she believed God could do. Like Abraham, who faced the fact that his body was good as dead, yet did not waver in faith. The Shunammite mother looked beyond her circumstances to the God who gives life to the dead. When Elisha saw her coming, he sent Gehazi, his servant, to ask if she and her family were well. She replied, "Everything is alright." She would not settle for second-hand answers. She pressed through her grief and clung to the feet of the prophet himself, declaring, "As surely as the Lord lives and you live, I will not leave you." Her persistence moved Elisha to act. Back at her home, Elisha prayed fervently. He stretched himself over the boy, mouth to mouth, eyes to eyes, hand to hand, until warmth returned to the boy's body. He prayed again, and the boy sneezed 7 times and opened his eyes. Life had returned. The son who was promised, then lost, was restored because of mother's relentless faith. This story carries powerful lessons for us. First, it shows the strength of persistent faith like the Shunammite woman. We must refuse to give up on the promises of God, even when the circumstances scream otherwise. Jesus taught the same principle in the parable of the persistent widow, urging his followers to pray and not give up. God honors faith that endures. Third, it demonstrates that miracle often comes from intimacy and persistence. She would not leave Elisha's side until he came with her. Likewise, we are called to cling to Christ, our great high priest, who intercedes for us. Our breakthrough is not found in rushing away from God, but in pressing closer to Him. Friend, maybe you are a mother interceding for your child, or perhaps you're carrying another kind of dead promise, a dream, a calling, or a relationship that seems beyond hope. Learn from the Shunammite woman. Do not bury it, lay it down before the Lord. Declare His promises and hold fast to Him with persistent faith. The story shows what God is faithful to restore, what looks beyond repair. What seems final is not the end, because of God of resurrection had the last word. Just as you raised your son, He can breathe life into your situation. So don't give up. Don't let despair silence your prayers. Keep declaring everything is alright, not because of what you see, but of who God is. Your persistence will not be wasted. The God of miracles still moves in response to faith that you refuse to quit. So this story talks about the Shunammite's mother. It shows her persistence in everything she does. She was very humble and kind. She brought Elijah to her home when he was passing by because he is a man of God, he's God's servant. So God decided to bless her with something she'd been wanting silently, a son. But unfortunately, the son passed away. But she did not lose hope. She did not lose purpose. She held on tightly. She went closer to God. She kept pressing on to God until God made a breakthrough for her son, restored him, brought him back to life. This tells us that we should not give up. When things go another way, the way we're not wanting, we should not draw away from God, but draw closer to Him. Thank you, and God bless you.